The other day, I was talking to my best friend about, how he was doing on self improvement because he started just very recently, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And he said that he feels like he really can't relate to his like group of friends anymore as much as he used to. And he feels like he doesn't connect with them the same way. And, that really made me realize how much I have the same feeling as him. As I've gone deeper into self improvement, I feel like I'm having a hard time relating to, my friends who I really don't share a lot of interests with. They're just like nice to be around. Or even my brothers, I feel like sometimes I'm sitting there like, really? This is what you do? And I realized like the person I relate to most and I can talk with most is technically my boss, but we work at the same karate studio together. He's, known me since I was 3 years old. He does a lot of very good habits like I do. And he is probably the most relatable person for me because I can talk about things like meditation, getting good sleep, working out with him because he does all of those things just like I do. And the thing is, he is like 36 years old, 35 years old. And I feel like that's the only really person I can talk to. Like, I don't feel like anyone else around me is very, deep into self improvement. I can really get into good conversations about how we should be sleeping, how we should be eating, how we should be meditating. And I really feel like this happens for a lot of guys like on self improvement, and it can get very scary for them, but it can also, almost set them back as they try and fit in with these normal people, and they they set themselves lower so they can fit in with these lower people instead of trying to set themselves higher to fit in with the higher people. Because one thing I learned is you have to almost kind of break away from your friends if you ever want to really, go and find friends who are like you, who do a lot of the self improvement things, who do a lot of the good habits, because they'll see you with these other normal people, and these people who are higher up, who are on self improvement, who are doing better, maybe same as you, will see you with these like normal kind of low level people, and they'll think you're one of them too. They won't really care to bring you in because they don't want those normal low level people in their friend groups because they understand that they're not very good for them to have around. Now, that doesn't mean go and leave your friends right away, or, you know, just desperately try and find anybody that's on self improvement, but take it slowly. Start to slowly kind of break away, like just take a step back from the friend group. Maybe try and take a couple with you who can start self improvement with you or something like that. But really try and stay away from those kind of, I don't really know those really low level people. Maybe like the ones that are fat and, don't exercise at all, or don't sleep well, or things like that. Stay away from them. Like, still be friendly with them, still be nice to them, but don't talk to them much, just like say greetings and then that's it. Because you're never really going to get those friends on self improvement who I've been talking about for my most of my channel, who are going to like help you push forward, help you become better on self improvement, unless you leave the friends you have behind, the ones that are like kind of um normal, low class, low grade friends who just kind of hang around you because they play video games with you or you guys are in the same class. And that's about it. So just leave them behind. Trust me. I know that in saying all this, it sounds easy. Just leave them behind, go find new friends. That sounds easy, but I know that it is very, very hard and very, very scary for a lot of young men because, I talked about this much earlier in my YouTube career. I can see if I can find a video um, where I talk about how, there will be a time in self improvement where you will feel alone, and that is going to be really scary for a lot of young men. But here it is. This video right here, I know you can't hear it, but up, down, in essence, if you want to try and get a friend to actually join you, I've talked about getting friends to really join you. Take our happiness. I talk about. Anyways, I talk a lot about how you're going to end up feeling so alone because you're not going to have many friends that are good for you and everything like that. And this is where this video is really going to take you, because in order to really become like really good at self-improvement and to really, keep improving yourself, even after you're that point where you're already above average by a lot and you still want to keep going. And the only way you're going to do that is if you have the right friends to keep you motivated, to keep you consistent with it. Otherwise, well, you're kind of screwed because you have to stay with these low-level people who are going to bring you down, like, oh, just an hour of video games, or oh, it's just a little junk food. And you're never going to really reach those friends who are on self-improvement like you, who might be a little better than you, because they see you with these normal people and they know that either one, you're a fraud on self-improvement and you're not really taking it seriously yet, or two, you're not on self-improvement really. I know I'm saying all this, but honestly, I have the same problem that you guys have right now. I honestly got the inspiration to make this video from a video by Hamza that came out a week or two ago now, where he talked about how you cannot really stay with those friends you had before self-improvement. And I mean, I have same struggles with it. I have a lot of friends that are still very normal, like, who still eat junk food, who don't meditate, who do a lot of these things. I do have a couple friends on self-improvement. I talk about how I got my neighbor on self-improvement. And in the summer, a lot of my friends do a lot of good habits with swimming and everything. But I know I have a couple friends in high school that, work out, but they don't have great diets, they don't have great sleep. So I still struggle with the same thing you guys do because there's not a lot of options, especially for high schoolers. Almost all high schoolers are just total like spurgs who don't care about their own health, their own mental health, who just kind of go around life doing whatever pleases them the most, which is, watching freaking porn on their phones, listening to degenerate music. Or I'll get into that one later. Degenerate music. I'm getting into that one. Trust me. A lot of just listening to music, drowning out the outside world because it's not as stimulating as what's on their screens. And honestly, I know our options are very limited, but the only way we're really going to be able to find out if we have anybody that's like us around us is if we keep pushing through. And actually, speaking of which, one of the only ways we can actually connect with people who have, you know, uh, what did I want to say? That, have same interests as us, the same ideas as us, is through online for a long time. So I recommend going to this place that Hamza has created. It is called Adonis School. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's called Adonis Gang. Just go to one of his videos. It should be in the like description, and click on that link, because there's a huge like platform of guys there who are on self-improvement. And I'm sure just by like asking around, you can find someone who like lives near you. You can meet up with them. So I really recommend go to Hamza's channel once this video is done and go join his Adonis gang, because it is so helpful to know that there are so many other guys around me who really care about self-improvement, who can really, you know, do it. So that is very important to me. So, I mean, it's not the best option, but online friends, better than having those degenerate friends who still do these bad habits and, don't try and change anything. That's the really important part, actually. I was doing this whole video, I was talking about how these friends still do bad habits, but it's the ones that don't care. I'll admit I still do things like eat junk food and fap and play video games sometimes, because I'm not that disciplined yet. I can't just not do them ever. I still need to work on that. But the thing is, I care. I care to keep trying to improve my diet, to improve my no fap streaks, to improve, I don't know, playing outside. And that's really important, because people are always going to do these bad habits, especially as high schoolers, as kids. We're probably not going to have the discipline to do it. But these, it's not the fact that we do the bad habits the problem. It's the fact that we don't care. So if you can find someone who's actively trying to improve his life, bring them with you, because you only bring each other up. But you don't want to get those people who kind of just sit there lazily, like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. What's some wrong with some junk food? Those people, yeah, you kind of want to stay away from them. But the only way you're ever going to get to this point, the only way you're ever going to get these friends who are higher up, or relate to these friends who are higher up, is to do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. I'll see you guys next time. Stay home.